Hey guys, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. Today we will see what if Naruto Absorption Bloodline. If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments. Naruto is in no mood. She is now sitting on her bed in an old-looking apartment. Why is she lying there? It is because she is tired of how people have been treating her. She has been thrown out of stores, been called names like monster, whore, and demon spawn. The villagers threw rocks at her, beat her on her birthday, and the people at the library gone so far to deny her access. She is just an ordinary 6-year-old with spiky crimson hair with blue eyes who has a bad timing of being born on the day the Kyuubi no Yoko attacked the village and the villagers wanted to take out their anger on her. That's what she thinks. Right now she is lying on her bed looking at the ceiling. She wants to leave this village but she doesn't know where to go. She doesn't know how to survive outside the village. These are what have been keeping her in this rat-forsaken dump. No way of getting out of this forsaken village. She continued to look at the ceiling until she sees a yellow flash in the room. She looked at where the flash was and found a scroll. It appears to be a message scroll. She looked at it read, to Naruto Namikaze. It is stated for a Namikaze and she is an Uzumaki so it is not for her, but it says Naruto so it wouldn't hurt to open it now would it? It's kind of weird doing this over a scroll so I will just come out and say it. I am the 4th Hokage Minato Namikaze and I am your father. If you are not aware of that then the old man must have kept it from you to keep you safe from my enemies from the wars. The first thing I want to say is I am sorry for what I have done. The first thing I thought of is the well-being of the village and not yours. Why I am sorry? It is because I have sealed the Kyuubi no Yoko inside of you. I didn't know who to trust the demon to any other person other than my own daughter. I have requested the village for you to be looked at as a hero. If they have not treated you as a hero then I am deeply sorry for the pain I have caused you. Right now you are absorbing the demon's chakra and converting it into your own. I have created a way to absorb its chakra a lot faster, but I'll explain this later. I went to great lengths to get this to you. I had to predict that you would be living in my old home so I place this here and release it when you're ready. This scroll doesn't hold any jutsu or techniques but tells you where I have my stash on jutsus, training tips, equipment and our family's bloodline scroll. They are hidden underneath the bed. Under a floorboard that is protected by a blood seal so you need to smear your blood over it to open the floorboard. No matter what Naruto I will always love you. If you don't share the same love I had for the village then you don't have to stay in it and find what it is you're happy for. By the way you looked like your mother when you were born. Her name is Kushina Uzumaki and she died giving birth from the stress of Kyuubi's attack to the village. We will always love you no matter what choices you make. Signed, Minato Namikaze. P.S. There is a storage scroll with enough ramen to eat for 10 years also. Naruto finished reading with tears in her eyes. She finally found out she had a family that wanted her. If it wasn't for the Kyuubi that attacked the village she would have been with her family. She put that aside for now and went under her bed to check this floorboard. She sees the floorboard with a seal on it and took out her kunai then dabbed her finger and smeared blood over the seal. The seal shined till it disappeared then she removed the board. Then there were some scrolls inside the hidden stash. She took them out one by one reading the names of the seal. Let's see here. Bloodline, training, equipment, jutsus, and ramen. She smiles at her father's love of ramen. She looked back to make sure she didn't skip any and found one more scroll. Absorbing Kyuubi. She read out loud. She opened it and read it. If you have found this Naruto you have decided to absorb Kyuubi a lot faster. If you continue to absorb Kyuubi as it is, you will finish absorbing the demon when you turn 87 years old. Before I sealed Kyuubi in you I have added more seals on you. They are on your back and both back arms. They are not visible right now and it is incomplete because I was in a hurry. I'll tell you what you can do to activate it in a bit. The seals are so small that it took me a while to put them on you. Don't worry, they will look cool on you and it converts Kyuubi's chakra into your own. The seals are in 4 staged and will look like wings. The first seal is on your right back arm and will absorb 2 tails worth of Kyuubi's chakra. The second seal is on your left back arm and that too will absorb 2 tails worth. The third seal is on your entire back and will absorb 3 tails worth. Don't worry, they too will look like wings. The final seal is the merge of all seals and absorb the rest of Kyuubi's 2 tails. Once that is done the seal will look like an awesome wing tattoo on your arms and back. Then wait 1 year to absorb the rest of Kyuubi. Unfortunately, that will only happen when you turn 16. I have no idea what will happen then. This is a lot to take in, so all you have to do is to follow the directions to apply the finishing touches for the seal and you will start the absorption, and I wish you luck. Naruto read the rest on how to begin the absorption and went to get some ink. The scroll says that you must draw a simple seal on your right arm to begin. Once she drawn the seal, the rest of her right arm began to shine in deep red. She didn't feel any pain, but she felt empowered. Once that is done, the seal disappeared and she began reading the rest of the scroll. If you have applied the seal, then the seal will do the rest. You can activate the seal to access the Kyuubi's chakra, but wait till it starts on the next seal. The Kyuubi's chakra is too potent for the human body to handle and it will harm you if you use too much of it. So wait till it converts it to your own. When I first applied this on you, it really looks cool when it is complete. It really does, Naruto said as she put the scroll away and noticed that the scroll burst into flames then turned to ash. She just shrugged and went to get a scroll that says Bloodline and read it. Hello Namikaze clan member. If you are reading this, then you are a Namikaze. As of right now, there is nothing in this scroll for people that don't have Namikaze eyes. Not even the Sharingan can see this. The Namikaze bloodline is not a dojutsu or merging element chakra, but the body itself. We don't have a name for it, and please don't name it or show it off. We have the ability to move at high speed like the speed of light. But to be more precise, we have the ability to stop time. Stopping time is something that is impossible to do by regular people other than a Namikaze. Stopping time takes in a lot of chakra. To stop time for 10 seconds is equal to 2 Jonins combined. To master this, you must have complete control of your chakra and enough reserves to match 2 Jonins. In order for you to stop time completely, you must concentrate your chakra to your entire body completely and release the amount you concentrated. Continue to release chakra during you stop time the longer you keep time frozen. The other bloodline that developed along the way is that your chakra signature is non-existent, which means no one can sense you. This will help you stay hidden when you gather chakra to yourself. Why? Because when you concentrate your chakra, it will be like lighting up a beacon for your opponents to find you, so this will help you along the way. That is all there is about the Namikaze bloodlines, and may this help you in becoming a powerful ninja. To say that Naruto was surprised is an understatement. She was practically speechless at this amazing ability. She noticed more writings on the scroll and recognizes the handwriting. Naruto, if you have read about our bloodline, then you must understand what I'm about to say. I am not able to use our bloodline. The Hiraishin is the downgraded form of our family's bloodline. If you are able to do this, then you have surpassed me. I may be dead and I will help you mastering our family's bloodline. The training scroll is all I can do for you, and the Hiraishin is in the jutsu scroll. Again, the scrolls can only be seen by Namikaze eyes. I wish you luck. This drove Naruto into mastering her family's bloodline. She grabbed the training scroll and read it over. The first thing that says is runs around the village to build endurance and stamina. Then it says tree walking, which is a chakra exercise. She chose to finish these training exercises, then master the Hiraishin. Then last she will master her bloodline. 1 month later, we will find Naruto sitting on the ceiling of her home and reading the next exercise. Let's see here. Water walking and taijutsu stances. She read to herself. She went out to a training ground and took out the scroll. Her taijutsu stance is something her father has created but didn't use it. It was perfect for her. It was a style that evades or block attacks and strike the opponent. She noticed that this style is used for killing. No wonder her father didn't use it. One of the exercise for this style is to attack a pole and use the tips of your fingers to attack, but don't hit the pole. This will give precise attacks. She practiced this stance over and over. Then she started to do the water walk exercise. 1 year later, Naruto mastered the water walk with practicing her taijutsu on the water for a whole day. She tried the hitting the pole with the tips of her finger, and she found the tips of her finger inside of the pole. 1 inch deep. This intrigued her and made her practice it more and more. She read over her training scroll and it said using gravity weights to walk on water and practice her taijutsu. She took the weights out of the scroll and noticed they were just normal armbands. The training scroll said to put chakra inside the bands to increase the weight. The first time she did it, she put too much and fell to the floor. She immediately removed most of the chakra till it felt right. She continued on with her training. 11 months later, She finished absorbing 2 taels worth of chakra while the seal on her left arm activated. Naruto had decided to up her training, so she took out the jutsu scroll. The first jutsu is a shadow clone and decided to learn it. Once mastered in 30 minutes, she moved on the next jutsu. She notices it was the Hiraishin. She began reading the Hiraishin and it required you to do many seals. She practiced the seals until she did it right. 2 years later, 10 years old, and she absorbed 4 taels and started absorbing 3 more. She mastered the Hiraishin and could do it as much as she wanted and didn't empty out her reserves in a day's worth. She is beginning to become a force to be reckoned with, or already is. She practiced her fingertip exercise with her hand through a tree and it now went through it. Naruto's taijutsu is split up into 2 parts. The closed fist and the open palm. In other words, it means to beat people to a pulp and kill. The open palm is to have the tips of your fingers to pierce the human body. She can put her hand in the body and grip a human organ and crush it or take it out. She hasn't tried it out yet and is planning to. Since she mastered the Hiraishin, she began training in her bloodline. Right now she is standing in the middle of the training ground to begin her training in the morning. Okay, if the concept the scroll has given me, it won't be a problem, I hope. She closed her eyes and began to concentrate her chakra to herself. For hours she tried and tried till she gave up and went to get a snack of ramen. She began to walk down the streets and noticed that stores began to open. She looked up at the sky and noticed the sun was still at the same spot she started her training. She also noticed that she isn't hungry, even thought she trained for hours. She went back to the training grounds to continue. Once she was there, she concentrated her chakra but kept her eyes open. The first thing that happened is the surrounding area had become a red-black color. The trees, grounds, and sky have turned dark red. Even the sun turned black. She looked around to see the blowing trees stop and the birds stop in mid-air. She stopped her concentration and everything went back to normal. Naruto was proud of herself. She has done something her father wasn't able to do. So she began practicing her time-stopping ability until it became natural. 2 years later, Naruto has accomplished a lot in 2 years. The first thing she did with her time-stopping ability is to sabotage the stores that denied her access to. She still hates the village and still wants to leave. The stores she sabotages were either blown up or burned down or both. The village tried to blame her, but she had a really good alibi. She was in the academy when it happened. Ever since, the villagers kept their distance from her. She also stole food she needed and clothes as well. She stole some jutsu scrolls from the library and returned them when she was finished with them. She has a huge arsenal of techniques. Right now she is taking her genin exam wearing a black vest with a dark red tank top underneath and black baggy shorts. She also has black gloves on with bandages over her arms. One with dark red and the other black. She had on Anbu sandals on and kept her crimson hair as spiky and untamed. Her genin exam is going well, so she thinks. She failed the written part of the exam and got the necessary requirements to pass the other exams. Right now she is doing the Bunshin Jutsu. She didn't bother with learning it as she got something even better. She put her hands together into a cross seal and concentrated her chakra. Bunshin no Jutsu. Naruto yelled and was engulfed in smoke. Even though she said Bunshin, she actually did the Kage Bunshin. Of course the instructors didn't need to know it. 20 shadow clones have poofed into existence with a smirk on their faces. Congratulations Naruto, you pass, Iruka said, handing a forehead protector while the Kage Bunshin cancelled themselves. We can't let her pass. Mizuki objected. Why not? She has the requirements to pass, so she passes. Iruka growled at Mizuki. Suddenly, Mizuki took out a kunai and attacked Naruto. Should I give it a shot? I haven't even tried it once, so I might as well. Naruto thought as she sidestepped Mizuki's attack. She opened her palm and plunged it into Mizuki's chest. She felt something beating and thought it was his heart. So she gripped it and crushed it. She pulled out her hand and swipes it aside to get rid of the blood. The result was excellent in Naruto's opinion. Mizuki just dropped to the floor with a thud sound. So'd I pass? Naruto said, not caring if she killed a Chunin. Yeah, you pass. You could go while I call someone to clean this up. Iruka is still gaping that a genin just killed a Chunin. I have to report this to the Hokage. Well, I'll be going now. Naruto said as she put her forehead protector on her forehead, keeping her bangs out of her eyesight. I'll see you at the orientation, Iruka See you there, Iruka said with a smile. The time-stopping bloodline is a rare bloodline that people thought didn't exist. Those who do have this bloodline didn't show any signs of having this bloodline. But now there is one who is capable of stopping time. Her name is Naruto Uzumaki or Naruto Namikaze, as the bloodline came from the Namikaze family. Naruto is able to utilize the time-stopping complete but takes a huge amount of chakra. So she just slowed time down to a point that she is moving fast. Naruto record of stopping time is 5 hours. When doing heavy exercises she can last 1.5 hours. Of course, using the bloodline as a ninja would be no fun at all. She only uses it as to avoid getting hit by attacks that she can't avoid. She also uses it when she is caught off guard or caught by surprise, thus making her untouchable. Naruto is currently admitting her photo to complete her registration to become a ninja. She is currently sitting in front of the Hokage. It seems everything is in order. Hokage said, signing the forms. Now that is done, I need to talk to you about on what happened at the academy with Mizuki. The Hokage said, looking at Naruto. About what? How I killed him, what technique I used. How did I even killed him, or if I am having problems dealing with it. Naruto said, not wanting to talk about. You can tell me what technique you used. I already know how he died and why. I'm sure you don't want to talk about. Hokage said, trying to read Naruto for any emotion. He just found that she is just annoyed. Well, I didn't give it a name. I just created it by scratch. She said, lying to the Hokage. I actually learned it from a scroll. It didn't have a name and father is the one that created it. But he doesn't need to know that. The Hokage was about to continue this conversation until a boy entered the room. Old man, I challenge you for the title of Hokage. The boy ran at the Hokage and with a kunai in his hand. He didn't make it far. He tripped over himself and landed face first. That scarf will be the death of him. Naruto though, as the boy picked himself up. How tripped me? The boy said while looking around the room and saw a girl. You're the one that tripped me. He said as he pointed the accusing finger at her. Is he serious or just plain stupid? She though, as the boy got closer. A girl like you with no skills isn't able to trip me. He said while the Hokage was shaking his head side to side. He's in for it now. Listen here, you little brat. Naruto gripped his collar and lifted him face to face. I'm not the one who tripped over a scarf, and for your information, I would beat the living daylights out of you if the Hokage isn't watching us right now. She threatened the boy while some panical scream came from the hallway. Honorable grandson, where are you? Some guy yelled out. He's in here, Ebisu. Hokage said while the yelling guy named Ebisu entered the room. Honorable grandson. He entered the room and sees a girl holding the grandson up to her face. It's her. The Kyuubi brat. Put him down this instant. He is the honorable grandson of the third Hokage. He yelled out. She just gave him a look that says, I don't give a damn. That will put her in place. This grandson thought, I thought you were going to beat me, tough gal. Afraid that the third Hokage is my grandfather. He taunted her. I don't care if you're the son of Kami himself. Naruto yelled at the boy, as she punched the boy in the stomach and dropped him. He instantly passed out of the power of her punch. See you later, Hokage-sama. I have training to do, she said as she left the room. Ebisu had his mouth touching the floor and the Hokage just groaned. She is getting more violent and strong fast. The Hokage thought as he thought of the reason why she was here. Iruka is right about her chakra signature. There isn't any. I'm not sure if she is capable of hiding it completely or there isn't anything there. He thought as Ebisu tried to wake the boy up. He will be out for a few hours. Naruto found herself in the usual training ground. She looked around to see if anyone is around. She sees no one or senses anyone. Once that is done, she bit her finger, did a few hand seals and slams it to the ground. Kachiyose no jutsu. Naruto yelled out. A poof of smoke surrounded her. Once the smoke cleared, standing next to her is a woman dressed in an elegant red kimono showing her smooth shoulders and B-size bust. Her kimono went down to her legs and is tied by a black obi. She has bright red hair tied in the back and what wasn't tied went past her hips, wrapped around in a white bandage. She has pointed out ears showing she isn't human and the brightest blue eyes there ever was. You wanted to talk to me, Katana? Naruto addressed the beautiful woman. She can still remember the first time she met her 2 months. It was an unpleasant experience. If you count meeting Kyuubi as well. Flashback 2 months ago. Naruto is having the worst dream she ever had. She is in a dark tunnel with 10 inches of water covering the floor with pipes that were on the ceilings. Great, I'm losing my imagination. I can't even dream up of me destroying the village, but I had to dream up a sewer. Naruto thought as she heard a growl down the tunnels. A rat-infested sewer. She didn't know what to do but just follow the growls. A couple of right and left turns and found herself in a giant room with some bars on the other side of the room. Once she got closer and noticed it was a cage. She looked closer and sees a small piece of paper with a kanji for seal on it. It must be the fox's cage, she thought. She got even closer and noticed a 2-story fox with 3 tails. I guess I shouldn't call you Kyuubi now, she said loud enough for the fox to hear her, and it heard her. So my vessel has graced me with a visit while she steals my chakra. The fox growled at her. Well, I want to see you before I absorb you completely, she said sarcastically and lied. She never planned on meeting the damn fox. This angered the fox. So what should I call you? The Sanbi no Yoko, she said, mocking the fox and angering it even more. I'll make you regret saying that to me. The fox roared and sent as much of his chakra to make this little insect submit to him. The fox's red chakra wrapped around Naruto to make her submit. That would have happened if she didn't have those extra seals. The moment the red chakra wrapped around her, it began to be sucked in the seals on her back. The fox noticed this and stopped sending his chakra to his vessel, but the damage is done. The chakra he sent to her was worth 1 tail, and now it has 2 tails left and completing the seals on her back. I guess it's Nibi no Yoko now, Naruto said, mocking the fox. That ended when she felt sharp pain coming from the seals on her back and arms. The seal began pulsating. The chakra that was sealed in those seals began leaking out. The chakra began shaping into a form of a human. Then the chakra disappeared, and in its place is a beautiful-looking woman. I see I am no longer part of you, no longer, this woman said softly but cold. Katana, I thought I killed you and absorbed your chakra. The fox growled and sounded even more angered if it was possible. Correction, you absorbed my essences. I continued on living inside of you and waited till I am able to survive on my own. In this case, I began reconstructing my essence and chakra, as I was absorbed into Naruto's seals. Katana said as she walked towards to Naruto. If it wasn't for you I wouldn't be able to live again. That shouldn't be possible. You should have been absorbed with me. The fox growled as he slammed himself at the cage, trying to attack his vessel and Katana. Yes, I would have been absorbed as well. But, I noticed the seals on her back are meant to absorb a demon. In my case, I was absorbed into the seals and continued to exist. Which means that I am not a demon, but a spirit, Katana said while helping Naruto to her feet. What are you anyway? She asked, feeling a bit drowsy. I am the forest shadow and the queen of foxes. But you can call me Katana, she addressed herself. As for you, she looked at the fox inside the cage with narrowed eyes. I tried to warn you of what will happen if you absorbed me by force and it turned you into a demon. If you had waited till you were ready I would have let you take over my position. You held me back. I needed more power to destroy all humans. The fox sneered at Katana. Yet you are sealed by a human that is now absorbing you. I can see the irony of the situation. You vowed to destroy all humans and now dying slowly inside a human. She chuckled at the situation. Katana looked at Naruto and noticed the seals on her back began merging, absorbing the demon fox's chakra, and passed out. I must have put a huge strain on her as I replenish my chakra reserves using the chakra in her seals. Katana thought, now that she is no longer here, I should leave as well. She didn't hear the demon fox's roar as she left the prison room. Naruto began to stir in her sleep as she felt the sunlight entering the room. She noticed that she was snuggling to something soft and warm. She opened her eyes and sees that she was snuggling into a woman's chest. Looks like you're awake, a woman said as Naruto looked up to see the same woman in her dream. You seem to like being in this position, she said, making Naruto jump out of her bed in her nightgown that is a yukata. Who the hell are you? Naruto said calmly, setting herself in her taijutsu stance. My, you don't remember me, the woman said seductively. You didn't mind using my chest as a pillow. You're Katana, the woman nodded. The forest shadow, she nodded again. Why are you here? I'm here to give you a gift for releasing me from that demon, Katana said. What are you giving me? Naruto asked as she dropped her taijutsu stance. I'm giving you the ability to summon me and my kits, Katana said. End flashback. Since then she got constant visits by foxes and Katana herself. So what is it you want to talk about? Naruto said as she waited to listen to her. I want to give you this. Katana said, pulling out two sheath-looking items and gave them to Naruto. What are these anyways? It looks like normal sheaths to me. Naruto gripped both sheaths. She noticed that they felt right in her hands. They're chakra tonfas. Put some chakra into them. Katana said. Naruto put some chakra into the sheaths and a 2-inch blade popped out and split into a T shape. The blade was 2 feet down her arm and 10 inches pointing outwards. They're the best things I have created. Only a fox summoner can use them. Anyone else will get a nasty burn. To extend the blades you have to put more chakra in them. Naruto nodded and put more chakra into them and the blade began to extend a few inches. She put a huge amount and the blade extended out, hitting a tree that was 20 feet away. Cool, huh? To put the blades away you just have to absorb the chakra out of the blades. Naruto absorbed the chakra from the blades. Once the blades were gone she didn't know where to put them. Here, Katana gave Naruto a belt with holders on it. She immediately put the belt on and sheathed it. Thanks for the gift. Is there anything else? Naruto said. You know that I am reconstructing the Fox clan, right? Naruto nodded. I won't be able to look after you for a while, but I can assign my latest kids to look after you. Katana said. What? Naruto wasn't expecting her to say this. Naruto, I would like for you to meet Kyoken and Kauken. Katana said cheery as two small foxes came into view. They were 1 foot long and their tails were the same length. Each fox had one tail. The foxes were bright orange with black tips on their nose, feet, and tails. The only way to split the two is color mark fur on each one. One had its fur marked as it was on fire and the other had wavy lines looks like wind. Kyoken and Kauken will be your guardians. Naruto raised an eyebrow at her. They may be young, but they can brighten up your life up a bit. Yeah, we can do the fighting while you sit on the sidelines. The Fire Fox said. You said it, bro. We can make the enemy beg for their lives. The Wind Fox said. Naruto looked at both of the kits chasing each other around the training ground and looked at Katana with, are you serious look. Kyoken and Kauken may be punks or brats, but they can brighten up your life with their attitude. Katana said, trying not to laugh as both of the kits sat on Naruto's shoulders on both sides with their tails wrapped around her neck. That's right, we will keep our eyes on you and make sure you are safe. The Fire Fox said. That's right, wherever you go we go. The Wind Fox said. If you go on a mission, we will follow you. The Fire Fox said. If you enter a fight, we will fight by your side. The Wind Fox said. If you eat, we eat what you eat. Both said in unison. Naruto just raised her eyebrows at both of the fox's speech. I wish you luck on both of the hyperactive kits. Katana said, a bit shaky as she tried to hold in her laughter and poofed away. Naruto's eye twitch. Let's get something straight. Naruto said, getting both of the kits' attention. Which one of you is which? Both looked at each other and nodded. Both jump off of Naruto's shoulders. I am the Fire Fox Kyoken. Kyoken introduced himself with a raised paw. I am the Wind Fox Kauken. Kauken introduced himself also with a raised paw. And we are. Kauken blew a small tornado behind him and Kyoken blew some flames into the tornado. The Crimson Hurricane Twins. The foxes said the same time as the fire tornado blew up behind them, giving themselves an awesome flashy pose. I bet Katana just wanted to get rid of them and stuck me with hyperactive knuckle-headed foxes. Naruto thought as she sweat drop at the scene in front of her. How am I gonna explain this to the Hokage? She thought. I guess it would hurt to tell him everything. She looked at the foxes as the two were wrestling against each other. I guess it wouldn't be that bad. She began walking towards the tower to meet with the Hokage. She noticed that people narrowed their eyes at her and sneers at the two foxes that were on her shoulders. People began to panic, but she just ignored them. Once she entered the Hokage's office and the room is obviously guarded by many Anbu shinobi in the room. Hokage, I need to tell you something. Naruto said, wary of the Anbu in the room. About the foxes on your shoulders. The Hokage said, getting a nod. The name's Kyoken and over here is my twin brother Kauken. Kyoken said on Naruto's left shoulder and Kauken on her right. Of course this shocked the old man and the Anbu guard. This is going to be a long story, Hokage. So you might want to get 2 bowls of ramen and get enough of your tobacco. Naruto said, getting a nod. After her story, the Hokage was speechless that the Yondaime went to great lengths to communicate with his daughter and the seals on her back. The story about the forest shadow was interesting as she left the two abominations to Naruto's care as they were eating their bowl of ramen. So you have been absorbing Kyuubi for the past 6 years and absorbed 7 tails. Naruto nodded. And you have been training secretly as you are Jonin level. She nodded. Now you are being trained by the Queen of Foxes herself and gave you the fox summoning contract. She nodded again and getting tired of nodding. She also left those two in your care. She hesitantly nodded. The Hokage saw this and wondered why she is hesitating at this. He looked at the two foxes as they had their heads in the bowls eating as much as they can eat the stuff. So that is everything that happened in the past 6 years, Hokage-sama. Naruto said as the old man took a puff of his pipe. The Anbu guards were also speechless at the latest news. As of now, I don't want people knowing who I am. I sure am not going to protect a village full of idiots that can't tell between the prisoner and the warden. So you're not taking your father's name and inheritance. The Hokage said. The Namikaze clan died the moment the Yondaime died. Surely the village don't want to see the demon child with their beloved hero's name. Naruto said in a stern look as the Hokage lowered his hat to hide his eyes. I'm sorry for what the village has done to you, Naruto. I did what I could to help you grow up a normal life. The Hokage said and received narrowed eyes from the girl. If you wanted to help me, you should have kept me being the container of the demon a secret. But you had to tell them, and that decision turned my life into a living hell, and that didn't give me a normal life. I sure as hell am not dying for this village. Naruto got off her seat. Kyoken, Kauken, we're going home, he said, earning yips from the twins, and left the office. Hokage-sama, we should keep her contained. The head Anbu said. No, what happened here stays here. If I find word of what is spoken outside of this room, I will have all of you executed for treason. The Hokage said, earning shocked looks, but you can't tell from behind their masks, yet the small twitch of the shoulder is a sure sign. They all nodded and shunshin out of the room. I've done enough damage to Naruto's life, and I sure am not going to make it any worse as it is. Perhaps this will help correct my mistakes. If only a little is enough for me. His thoughts were interrupted by a silver-haired Jonin entering the office. Sorry I'm late, Hokage-sama. You see, a black cat crossed my path and I had to take the long way around. The Jonin gave his made-up excuse while the old man was thinking things over. I wonder if I should tell him about his new student. Naruto is now waiting inside the academy classroom, waiting to be assigned to a Jonin sensei, but she is in no mood. It turns out Kyoken and Kauken were late-nighters and kept Naruto awake till they crashed. Right now, Naruto, Kyoken, and Kauken were now sleeping on a desk. Both Kyoken and Kauken were curled up on Naruto's shoulders and neck. Naruto, wake up. Iruka tried to wake Naruto up. Naruto. That worked. Naruto flung her head up. This scared the twins. If they didn't wrap their tails around Naruto's neck, they would have been flung to a wall. We're under attack. Call for backup. Kyoken screamed as he was dangling from Naruto's neck. Forget it. They're not coming. Kauken replied. Naruto grabbed the fur on the back of their necks and held them to her face. Please, don't yell. She narrowed her eyes at the twins. Both nodded their heads. Naruto. As I would like to know who those two foxes are, but I am about to name the teams. Iruka said, looking at the two foxes that were held by the back of their necks. Now everyone will be teamed into groups of 3 with a Jonin sensei. Everyone in the class was outraged by this late news but kept their mouths shut. Of course, 2 foxes voiced out their opinions. But, we are already a team. Kyoken said. We already have combination attacks and we had to figure out how to put Mistress Naruto into them. Kauken said with a nod from his brother. It was exactly this conversation that kept them up. Naruto groaned. The threat of no ramen was the only way I got them to shut up. Well, anyways, Team 1 will be. Iruka called out the teams. Naruto was trying not to fall back to sleep as she kept the twins from going to sleep as well. If she has to suffer, then those 2 will have to suffer too. She waited for her team to be named out until. Team 7 will be Naruto Uzumaki, Haruno Sakura and Uchiha Sasuke. Iruka said. Of course this brought different results. Great. Stuck with the emo king and his fangirl. Naruto said, not caring of the Sasuke fan club members' narrowed eyes and sneers. Quote. Sasuke also narrowed his eyes at the name he was called. Not the dead last, Sakura said, but jumped in victory of being in Sasuke's team. Kyoken and Kalkin had their own opinions. Hey bro, Kalkin said. What is it bro? Kyoken replied. Do you think we are able to do some combinations with those two? Kalkin asked while Kyoken looked at the two. No, those two are not worth our coolness. Kyoken gave his answer. I can see why Katana gave them to me. Naruto thought as the two began bickering about how sleep would be so good right about now. I would love to sleep on a king-size bed with silk sheets and a fluffy pillow. Naruto agreed with the twins' choice of bedding. Once Iruka called out the teams. Once that was done, he left to do some paperwork. Once he was out of the room, Naruto gave the twins an order to fall asleep, which they were happy to follow to the end. They slept as time went by waiting for her sensei. She woke up as she regained her sleep. She looked around and noticed the classroom was empty with the exception of herself, the twins, Sakura and Sasuke. She yawned, waking up. Kyoken and Kalkin woke up. How long were we asleep? Naruto asked Sakura. You were sleeping for 3 hours and our sensei didn't show up yet. Sakura answered with a bit of anger in her voice. At least I got my sleep. Kyoken said, stretching on the desk along with Kalkin. Our sleep would have been great if we had that bed. Naruto inwardly agreed and Kyoken nodded. That was when a silver-haired Jonin with his left eye was covered by his headband. He wore standard Jonin clothing. He eyed his genin. My first impression on you is I hate you. Sakura lowered her head in shame. Sasuke sneered at the man, and Naruto just looked neutral while the twins were thinking of how to make this man's life miserable. Meet me on the roof in 5 minutes. The scarecrow said as he poofed out of existence. Both Sakura and Sasuke went to the roof. Dude, I say we burn his house down. Kalkin suggested. No, I say we take something precious of his and burn it in front of him. Then we burn his house down. Kyoken said as his bro agreed. What if you knock him out as well and put him in the burning house? Naruto said as the twins were surprised at Naruto for making that suggestion. Now why didn't I think up of that in the first place? Kalkin said. Yeah, but for now. We have to find something that he holds precious first, then we burn it in front of him. What do you think, Naruto? Kyoken asked. We'll think of it later. But for now, let's find out what his precious is. The twins nodded and Naruto used the shunshin to appear on the roof. The Jonin raised his eyebrow at one of his students. Sakura was surprised and Sasuke narrowed his eyes. Naruto just shrugged and sat down next to Sakura and away from Sasuke. Now that everyone is here, tell me your name, likes, dislikes, hobbies, and dream for the future. The man asked. Sensei, why don't you introduce yourself to show us how? Sakura asked while the twins gave her a look. The pink-haired girl doesn't know how to introduce herself, Kyoken said while everyone looked at the fox. What is she, stupid or is she retarded? Kalkin said and jumped away from Naruto's shoulder to avoid the pink-haired girl's hands as she tried to grip the little fox. Naruto, why don't you leave those foxes at home so they don't cause trouble? Sakura screamed at Naruto as she just ignored her. She just shrugged as Kalkin jumped into Naruto's safe arms. That is not possible. If I leave them alone, who knows what trouble these two will cause if I'm not around. Naruto said as she put Kalkin back down when Sakura calmed down. Now that is settled. My name is Kakashi Hitaki. I have a few likes and dislikes. I have many hobbies and plans for the future. I never thought of it. Kakashi said, only giving his name. Since you asked first, you go next, Pinky. Kakashi said. Sakura was fuming at the name, as the foxes were snickering. My name is Sakura Haruno. My likes. She looked at Sasuke. My hobbies. She looked at Sasuke again. And my dreams for the future. She looked at Sasuke with a fit of giggle. What about your dislikes? Kakashi asked. Naruto and her foxes. Sakura has become the #1 target of the foxes. The feeling's mutual, you bitch. Naruto thought as the twins were growling at Sakura, scaring her. I got myself a fangirl. Kakashi thought. What about you, brooder? Kakashi pointed at the brooder. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I have no likes, many dislikes, no hobbies, and my dream. It's more of an ambition is to kill a certain man. Sasuke said, still brooding. Sakura was owing the guy. I've got myself an avenger. Kakashi thought. What about you, fox tamer? Looking at Naruto. My name is Naruto Uzumaki and these two on my shoulders are Kyoken and Kalkin. Both foxes raised a paw. They like gossiping and eating ramen. They disliked tail hunters. Everyone looked confused. Tail hunters are people who hate foxes. Their hobbies are to mess with people's lives, and their dream for the future is to bring the Fox clan to glory. Naruto finished. What about your likes and all? Kakashi asked, not wanting to know about the foxes. I have no likes. I also dislike tail hunters and the people of Konoha. Kakashi raised an eyebrow at this. My hobbies are to figure out other ways to kill someone while fighting. My dream of the future is to help rebuild the Fox clan and raise a family outside of this village. Naruto said in a cold voice that creeped everyone out. So, the Kyuubi is manipulating her through the seal. Kakashi thought. Okay, now we got that aside, we will start your mission tomorrow. Meet me at the training ground 17 to do your survival test. I'm not sure about which training ground, so I just picked a number. But sensei, we already passed the Genin exams. Aren't we Genin right now? Sakura asked. Well, that exam is to see who are able to become Genins. These tests have a failure rate of 66%. Kakashi said, looking at the shocked looks of Sakura and Sasuke while Naruto was just looking drowsy. Well, meet me there at 6 in the morning and don't eat breakfast. You might throw up. This again brought shocked looks from everyone except for Naruto, Kyoken, and Kauken as they were slowly drifting to sleep. Kakashi just left them to do whatever it is he does. Soon everyone left the roof. The next morning. It is now 6 in the morning. Sakura, Sasuke, Naruto and the kids were waiting at the training ground. Naruto and the twins ate breakfast. Why? Because the twins didn't want to go out with an empty stomach. Naruto was just going to ignore them and leave without eating until they gave the threat of keeping her awake. That got her to eat something. As of right now, the foxes and master went back to sleep, as they got comfortable with a pole. 3 hours later. Kakashi is late and Sakura is fuming. Sasuke was still brooding. Naruto is sleeping with the foxes curled up on her. Yo! Kakashi arrived. You're late. Sakura screamed, waking up Naruto and her foxes. Sorry I'm late. You see, a black cat crossed my path, so I had to take the long way around. Kakashi gave up his meaningless excuse. Liar! The banshee screamed. Okay. Kakashi just waved her off as he pulled out 2 bells from his pocket and tied them to his hip. To pass, you need to take a bell from me before. He pulled out a clock and puts it on a stump. The time hits noon. But sensei, there are 3 of us and there are 2 of them. Sakura pointed out. Exactly. The one that doesn't get a bell will be sent back to the academy. Sasuke and Sakura's eyes widen at this. Also, everyone can fail if none of you don't get a bell. Naruto, your foxes will have to sit this one out. Naruto just raised an eyebrow at this. But what will we do for 3 hours? Kauken asked. Just talk about some of the gossip that is happening in the village. Naruto just said, receiving nods from the twins. Now that is settled. Now for you 3 to obtain a bell, you must come at me with the intent to kill. Now is everyone ready? He received nods. Now begin. Kakashi watched as the Genin is in the forest. He decided to wait till he thinks that they are ready, so he is now listening to the twins gossiping. Yo bro, have you heard about that old man dying last night? Kauken asked. Yeah, apparently the old man wakes up dead. Kyoken said, and Kauken just looked confused. What do you mean the old man wakes up dead? How can someone wakes up dead when the guy is already dead? Kauken said. You can't. You see, the old man was alive when he was sleeping and he wakes up and died. Thus giving the meaning wakes up dead. Kyoken gave his theory. That bro is deep. Kauken raised his paw and Kyoken slaps it. Those are the weirdest foxes I have ever seen. Kakashi thought as he left to find the Genin. Kakashi came across an open field. Sasuke is hidden in a tree on my 7 and Sakura is hidden in a bush on my 10. He reached out further. I can't sense Naruto. Then Naruto walked out of the bush and faced Kakashi. Shouldn't you be hiding? Kakashi said as tried sensing Naruto's chakra. What's going on? Is this an illusion? Kakashi thought as he couldn't sense anything from Naruto. Well, I never planned on working together with Sasuke or Sakura if that is what you're asking. Naruto said as she figured out the test. So you know the meaning of this test. Naruto nodded as she set herself into a taijutsu stance that Kakashi doesn't know about. Well, let's go, wild sensei. Kakashi just went to pull an item out of his pouch. You're going to use a weapon in a taijutsu fight. Naruto said. I am going to need this to fight you. He pulled out a book. Naruto forced herself from face faulting at the turn of events. What's with the book? Naruto asked as Kakashi opened the book. I want to know what happens in it, of course. Your punches and kicks will be too weak to do any damage to me. Kakashi said without looking away from the book. Too weak, huh? Naruto said sweetly but darkly. She disappeared from sight and throws a punch at Kakashi. This caught him off guard as he used whatever reflexes he had to avoid the hit. Naruto kept throwing punches and kicks with great speed. Kakashi had to put his book away to fight her. What happened, sensei? You can't defeat me without your book. Naruto taunted Kakashi. He kept defending himself till he brought his own assault and Naruto kept avoiding his punch and kicks. A right punch and she sidesteps it as he throw his left and she sidesteps it again. Kakashi sweeps kick Naruto and she just vaults over the kick and lands on her feet. She kept avoiding his attacks. Her taijutsu is so fluid I can't hit her. She keeps getting faster when I begin picking up the pace. Kakashi thought as he tried to sweep kick her again and waits for her to vault over it. Instead she backflips away from Kakashi. She is changing her tactics. He's getting serious. I had to remove my weights to keep up with him. Naruto thought as she thought up her next move. I guess I have no choice but to try them out. Naruto said as Kakashi wondered what she is planning until she pulled out a pair of sheaths. Sheaths, Kakashi thought. Up in the tree Sasuke was watching all this unfold and is wondering how the dead last obtained this kind of power. How did she get this strong? I should be the one who should have that kind of power. I am a Uchiha. 1. Naruto gripped the sheaths and put in some chakra into them. Once she did, the sheaths released its blade in a tonfa style. Bladed tonfas, Kakashi thought as he pulls out 2 kunais and gripped one in each hand. This is when I get serious, Kakashi. Naruto said out loud as she slowed down time, making her move fast and attacked Kakashi. Kakashi was caught off guard by Naruto's burst of speed and tried to defend himself by Naruto's onslaught. Naruto swung her left tonfa horizontally at Kakashi but jumped away. She continued her momentum to spin around and swung her right tonfa at Kakashi. Why is she spinning? That isn't going to reach me. That thought went out the window as the blade on the tonfa extended and cut the skin of his stomach. Kakashi jumped back for safe measures. If this keeps up, I will be diced into pieces. Kakashi thought as he sidestepped a vertical right strike from Naruto and jumped away from a diagonal left slice from her. She can't possibly continue these moves. She will soon run out of chakra if I buy some time. 15 minutes later, she is still fighting like before. Kakashi thought as he decided to use his Sharingan. He removed his headband and activates it. He began to predict Naruto's movements. He wasn't able to see any chakra coming from Naruto. What's going on? She's not using any chakra or... He started doing hand seals. Earth release. Earth dragon bullet. Kakashi yelled out as a dragon was formed from the ground and started shooting bullets of earth and Naruto. Naruto started sidestepping the earth and strike whatever she can't avoid. That didn't end as the dragon went on a collision course with Naruto. Naruto just smirked and stepped into a stance. Her right leg was behind her, bracing herself as her right hand with a tonfa in it aiming at the dragon. She gripped her right arm with her left arm to hold in place. Pierce to kill, Naruto shouted as the tonfa shoot both forward and backwards. The blade that went backwards stuck itself into the ground as the other blade that went forward hit the earth dragon, pierced it in the head and began crumbling down to earth. Damn, if this goes on I might have to use my left seal. Naruto thought as she retracted the blades into normal-looking bladed tonfas. This is too much. I had to slow time down just to avoid his attacks. Naruto thought as she began weighing out her options. She is definitely using chakra but it's non-existent. Kakashi thought as he kept a close eye on Naruto and noticed a fire-style tattoo on Naruto's right arm. What is that? I can't do that. I showed too much to this guy. Naruto thought as she finished with her options. I'm sorry, Kakashi. The said man raised an eyebrow at Naruto's change of attitude as she put her bladed tonfas aside. But I'm ending this right not. The same tattoo on her right arm has appeared on her left arm. She began doing hand seals in high speed and finished with a tiger seal. Fire release. Fire dragon flame bullet. Impossible. Kakashi yelled out in surprise as he avoided the flames and noticed Naruto doing more seals. Fire release. Fire dragon flame bullet. She blew the flames where Kakashi was heading and hit him or a now burnt log. Kawarimi. Where is he? Naruto looked around. She felt a pair of hands grip her ankles. Earth release. Double suicide decapitation. Naruto was pulled down into the earth, only showing her head, and Kakashi appeared where she was standing a second ago. You should never underestimate your opponents, Naruto. Kakashi said to Naruto, who was smiling the whole time. You should take that advice to heart, Kakashi. The so-called Naruto poofed away. A shadow clone. Kakashi looked around to find Naruto and remembered that she can't be sensed. This will be hard, finding someone whose chakra doesn't exist. Kakashi kept looking around until he heard a bell noise coming from the tree in the middle of the field. He turned around and sees Naruto holding a bell in her hands. This was getting boring. Naruto thought as she just stopped time to grab a bell. I showed too much of my capabilities. I should have just ended it from the start. How did you get a bell? Kakashi asked. That is for me to know and for you to never find out. Depending if the Hokage will tell you, and I sure am not telling you as long as I live. Naruto said as she went back to the twins. Kakashi just shrugged it off and went to find the other genin. Naruto arrived at the pole area and comes to the sight of two foxes wrestling around the area. Naruto just shrugged and made a shadow clone to go see the Hokage. Once that is done, she leaned against a wooden pole and slid down till she sat on the ground. I sure am going to fail this test, Naruto said to herself. With the Hokage. The old man Hokage was sitting on his desk in the Hokage office fighting a great evil that all cages can't defeat, paperwork. That ended when Naruto entered the office with a shunshin. Ah, Naruto, what can this old man do for you today? The Hokage simply abandoned the great evil. I want to talk about my sensei Kakashi and I have a request. The Hokage looked puzzled. You know what I told you about the seals and my abilities? He nodded. I don't want you telling Kakashi anything about me. I'm afraid I can't do that request. A sensei will need to know what he can teach their students. The Hokage pointed out. That will not be happening. The old man just kept silent. He has the Sharingan and will only teach someone who has the Sharingan, and that is the last Uchiha. Besides, he won't be teaching the Kyuubi container. The old man groaned inwardly and thought of what he can do. I can't assign you your own sensei. It will show favorism. He looked at Naruto to find some kind of emotion. He only found the same cold look in her eyes. You and I know that I don't need a sensei. All I want is for Kakashi to know nothing of what I am capable of. Naruto could see that the Hokage was thinking things through. Then she looked at the piles of paperwork. What if I tell you how to do paperwork a lot faster? Naruto suggested, and the Hokage instantly responded. Tell me how now. The Hokage seemed desperate. If I tell you how, will you promise me you won't tell Kakashi anything? The Hokage nodded and Naruto just poofed out of existence. That little brat. She didn't tell me how to do paperwork faster. She just cancelled her shadow clone. The Hokage stopped his rant and began chuckling at this new revelation. He put his hands into a cross seal and shouted, "Shadow clone!" And 3 Hokages poofed into existence and began defeating the great evil. Sorry, Kakashi. I am a man of my word. The Hokage thought as he pulled out an orange book and began giggling as he was reading it. Back with the real Naruto. Naruto received the information from the shadow clone, and Kakashi just finished his speech about the importance of teamwork after he failed the group. Sakura was the one who was tied to the pole. I'll give you a second chance. Right now eat your lunch and don't untie Sakura or give her your food. If you do, you will fail. Then Kakashi disappeared. So what do we got for lunch? Kyoken took the lunchbox from Naruto's hands while Kauken removed the lid. Let's see here. Fried rice. Sushi. Don't know what that is, and vegetables. Kauken gave his report of the food in the box. Then both surrounded the box and began eating it. I should have left them home. I don't care if they cause me trouble later on. Naruto thought as she began to rest. Then Sasuke gave his lunchbox to Sakura. She instantly accepted it, saying that it was a show of his love, but we will need our strength to fight Kakashi, and you being hungry will lower our chances of failing. Sasuke said, I'd give you some of my food, but the boys took my lunch. She looked over at the foxes and sees them still digging in with their tails waving in the air wildly. Damn idiots. Sasuke untied Sakura and gave her some food. That is when the sky darkens and Kakashi showed up in front of the 5 by a flash of lightning and looks pissed. You, he shouted, scaring 2 people while the rest just went on as it is. Show off, were their thoughts. You broke the rules and will pay for it. He began doing some hand seals. "Are you prepared for the punishment? We can handle it," Sasuke blurted out. "Yeah, we're a team and we will work together," Sakura said while Kakashi looked at Naruto, who stayed seated with her arms crossed and yawning. She looked at the scene in front of her. What they said. She shifted her head pointing at her teammates. "You, pass," Kakashi said, shocking Sakura and Sasuke. Kyoken and Kauken took advantage of this and began eating Sasuke's lunchbox. "We pass." Sakura was still shocked by this. "Yup, if you guys just listened to what I said earlier about not feeding Sakura, then I would have failed you," Kakashi said as Naruto highly doubt that. "Now that you pass I have to report to the Hokage and you guys are done for today. So meet me tomorrow at 7 in the morning," Kakashi said as he disappeared. Naruto got off the ground and decided to go home until Sasuke blocked her path. "Fight me," Sasuke said. "No," Naruto said and went around him and continued walking home. "So you're scared of me?" Sasuke taunted her. "No," she said as she kept walking away. "Then fight me if you're not scared." Still trying to get Naruto into a fight. "Just because I am not scared isn't going to make me fight you," Naruto said as she kept on walking. Sasuke was angered by this. When he asks for something he gets it. This girl isn't going to deprive him of it. He ran at Naruto to attack her from behind, but one of her foxes got in the way. "When our mistress says no, she means no," Kauken shouted as he inhaled as much air in his lungs that his chest was out and blew a huge gust of wind. The wind blew Sasuke back, slamming him hard into a pole, knocking him out. "I guess these two foxes will come in handy in the future," Naruto thought as she went home with her foxes in tow. At the Hokage's office, the Hokage received his reports of the teams that passed from Asuma and Kurenai along with Guy was in the room for some reason. Once that was done, Kakashi entered the room with tattered clothes with a few burnt marks. "My eternal rival has come to give his report about his failed youthful team," Guy shouted as the people in the room sweat drop. "Was someone talking to me?" Kakashi just said, ignoring Guy's rant about his hip unyouthful rival. "So Kakashi has failed another team. Just let me get the papers and be done with," the Hokage said as he went to get the papers. "That won't be necessary, Hokage-sama. I am here to say that Team 7 pass and I'm here for information for my student." This brought shocked looks from everyone in the room. "Certainly this is not because of the Uchiha now, is it?" Asuma said and received a nod from Guy. "No, they passed my test and the student I want information from is Naruto Uzumaki." This brought even more shocked looks from the group. "Why would you want information on Naruto?" the Hokage asked, hoping he doesn't have to tell much about her capabilities. "She showed abilities that genin shouldn't have," Kakashi said as he began telling the group the story that happened at the training ground during the test. "That was only a half of what she's capable of," the Hokage thought as he looked at the shocked looks from his jonin in the room. "So she is capable of defeating a jonin. I guess I can apply her into joining the Anbu. I advise against that. Certainly the Kyuubi got a hand in this," Kakashi said as he regretted saying those words. "So you are saying that Naruto is only strong because she has the Kyuubi in her? Why don't you say that to her face, saying that hard work will not get you anywhere? Also, you doubt the 4th Hokage's abilities as a sealing expert that is also your sensei, who you say is like a father to you," the Hokage said in a stern voice with narrowed eyes with some killing intent mixed into them, scaring the one-eyed jonin. Guy lost some respect for his rival, and the same can be said by Kurenai and Asuma. The seal that Naruto has right now is strong enough that Kyuubi won't be able to manipulate her. If it tries something to Naruto, it will only be hurting itself, the Hokage said, excluding the part that the seal's on her back and arms. "So everything that Kakashi said is all Naruto?" Asuma said, earning a nod from the Hokage. "What about those foxes that hangs around with her?" Kakashi had to ask. "She told me that they came to her and decided to live with her. Probably because she has the scent of foxes," the Hokage said as he knows why they follow her. "But they call her their mistress." Kakashi really tried to cause harm to Naruto. "You would too, if you have taken them in and taken care of them," the Hokage said as he sees Kakashi giving up. "Now that everything is settled, you all are dismissed." He watched them shunshin away and immediately made shadow clones to do the paperwork. This time he didn't take out a book but began thinking things through. "I should keep Naruto's file heavily decoded for my eyes only," the Hokage thought as he knew Naruto's ninja career to be kept under wraps. "I did all I could, Naruto. The rest is up to you. A lot can happen in a month. Excluding the boring D-rank missions. Kyoken and Kauken have grown another tail, making them stronger and faster. Not to mention that both of them have started doing pranks on their free time, which is 24/7. Their pranks were not harmful but soul-crushing. For instances, both have discovered what is Kakashi's precious, which was the orange book called ICHA Paradise. When Kakashi let down his guard, Kauken blew a gust of wind at him and blowing him away, thus releasing his grip of his precious. That was Kyoken's cue. The said fox blew a ball of flame at the book, burning it into ashes. Kakashi looked. They couldn't tell. He dismissed the team. Once he thought they were out of ear range. No. The team heard a girlish scream. At the Hokage Tower. The old man has just finished with his paperwork and is now reading ICHA, and then he heard the girlish scream. You have my sympathy, whoever you are. The Hokage thought as he went back to his book. But that didn't end there. Kakashi went back home to get another book. Once he got there, he sees smoke coming from his apartment. He went into overdrive to get to his apartment. He entered his apartment and came to a sight that broke his heart. More like destroyed it. His entire collection of the ICHA series is now burned into ashes. Naruto was walking towards a training ground with Kauken in tow and is wondering where is Kyoken. All is silent until Both heard a high-pitched girlish scream. You wouldn't have been the cause of this, Kauken? Naruto asked as she sees the said fox snickering. I'll take that as a yes. Both continued on. That still didn't end there. Kakashi had finally dried up his tears and went to the bookstore that sells his precious. Again he sees the black smoke. He went to a speed that the Hokage himself couldn't track. Kakashi came to the sight of the bookstore on fire. To say that the sight of the bookstore on fire crushed his soul is indeed accurate. He unleashed a scream that no man shouldn't have. Over in some country, an old man with white long spiky hair was peeping at the woman's side of the bathhouse. He felt a huge shiver that went down his spine. I feel a disturbance in the pervertedness that 1,000 pieces of paper have been burned. The old man said as he felt another shiver. His instincts told him not to look behind him, but human curiosity got the better of him. He turned around and paled with the sight of women from the bathhouses in their towels, giving him the look that he knows very well that says, kill the pervert. He released a girlish scream as he received a beating. Back in Konoha, Kakashi is now crying a river that could be used to put out the fire, but his soul was crushed that all he can do now is cry. All the Jonins tried to calm the crying man, wondering how a powerful ninja can break down to tears. The Hokage gave his book to Kakashi to stop the man from crying as he hugged the book and promised to protect it with his life. That was one of the pranks that the foxes did and is still causing trouble but never been caught or seen. Naruto didn't mind the pranks, but hated their bickering. Sasuke is still trying to get a fight with Naruto, but Kauken kept blowing him away. She said, you can only fight me if you can get past Kauken and Kyoken. I doubt Kyoken will go easy on you. To Sasuke as the said man had tried to get by the foxes. Naruto only said this to give the twins some fighting experience as both work well together. Not once Sasuke was able to hit either foxes and complained about unfair numbers. Naruto said, life isn't fair, so you better get used to it or die. As Sasuke tried harder but failed. Once in a while Kauken called Sakura stupid or retard with the stupid questions she's been asking. Sakura attacked Kauken with fists, kicks, kunai, shuriken, rocks, sticks, whatever she can get a hold of. What she didn't know is that Kyoken was setting up a trap and Kauken was drawing her towards it. Who knows how these foxes do it? The last trap Sakura fell for is a pitfall, and with stink bombs being dropped down into the pit. The trap that Sakura has now fallen into was the very same pitfall the foxes used before, but covered it up again. How a ninja can not see this, the group wondered. Once Sakura stood up and looked around the pit. She looked and looked until she heard a squeaking noise. She followed the noise and sees a black rat with a furry tail with a white line down its back to its tail. Team 7 heard Sakura's scream from down the pit. Hey bro. Kyoken looked at his brother to show that he has his full attention. How did you convince the skunk to agree with this? The said fox just shrugged and continued on to listening to the music. To Team 7. Life isn't dull as the Crimson Hurricane twins have been raising hell in Konoha. Right now, Naruto is walking towards a training ground that she has been going to as she felt a pulse from her seals on her back showing she is going to meet Katana. Once she got to the training ground she instantly bit her thumb and some hand seals. Kachiyose no Jutsu. Naruto slammed her palm to ground and a huge puff of smoke engulfed the area. This is a bit too much smoke for summoning Katana. Naruto said as the cloud of smoke cleared and there is Katana 9 other foxes behind her. Like what you see Naruto. Katana said as the 9 foxes looked around the area. This is what I've been doing for 3 months. I'm guessing that gathering 9 foxes is a hard task. Naruto said as Katana just nodded. Well, to be more precise, I have gave birth to 8 of them. Naruto just raised an eyebrow. Well, you see Vitara here. Katana said pointing at a golden yellow fox with 6 tails with white tips on the tail and paws. Joined our little group and is looking after my little kits. Vitara kept the foxes in order. So you have been giving birth to foxes. I know I am going to regret this. But how? Naruto said, not wanting to know the answer. Well, I am a spirit after all and it takes only a month to give birth to more foxes. And how? I have been using you as the source to breed my kits. Katana said, waiting for Naruto's response. What? There it is. Well, I don't need to mate with another if I wanted to. All I did was took some of your chakra from your seals. Your normal chakra is completely non-existent if you don't know already. She looked at Naruto to see that she calmed at this revelation. The first results of this are Kyoken and Kauken. I still don't know why they act the way they do. Great. I helped breed 2 abominations. Naruto thought. What about the other 8? Naruto asked as she eyed the 8. Some were light red and orange with black tips on their noses, tails, paws and ears. The more noticeable ones were the black ones. Thanks for asking. 5 of them are again yours and 3 of them are from some Nara. Katana said as the Nara foxes were slouching around and one of them looked serious. A Nara? Why? Naruto asked. Well, the Naras have the ability to manipulate shadows. So I decided to have some shadow foxes. Of course there are some drawbacks into having shadow foxes. Katana said as she eyed the male shadow foxes that were slouching around. What kind of drawbacks? Naruto looked at the shadow foxes. Well, the male shadow foxes are so lazy that I had to order them around. I swear I heard one of them said troublesome. Other than that they are smart and learning how to manipulate shadows. The female shadow fox is another story. Katana said as she eyed the only female shadow fox there is. Naruto also looked at the said fox. She is one of the bossiest and scariest creatures I have ever heard. If I don't motivate the others, she will do it no problem. I still don't know who she does it. Is that all? Naruto asked. Right now I am due next week with the Hyuga foxes. Katana said. Hyuga foxes. How did you get a Hyuga's chakra and why a Hyuga? Naruto asked. Well, they have the Byakugan. This will make perfect scouting foxes if they have the Byakugan. As for the chakra source, I got it from this shy-looking girl your age and asked her if I can borrow some of her chakra. Katana said as she remembered the shy little girl. Did you ask the Naras for their chakra? Naruto said. No, I just went up to one of them sleeping when his companion went to get more food to eat. Katana said. Is there anything special about the foxes that I should know about? Naruto said as she looked at the foxes playing. Well, they are growing at a rapidly fast. Kyoken and Kauken have already grown their second tail on their 3rd month. This shouldn't happen in another year or 2. I predicted that something like this will happen, so I made sure I used your chakra in mixing with the Nara and the Hyuga foxes. The 5 here are also capable of utilizing either wind or fire. Katana said as she brushed black ink on the foxes to show what kind of foxes they are. There were 3 fire foxes and 2 wind foxes. So the foxes that come from me are born with either fire or wind. Naruto asked. No, this is only natural. The shadow foxes over there are able to manipulate earth. Who knows what the Hyuga foxes are able to use? Katana said. Well, if that is all, I have to go on a mission to capture some lost cat named Tora. Naruto said as Katana gathered her foxes and poofed away. At least I am not the only child no more. Kauken said. What do you mean the only child? We're twins. Kyoken shouted. Oh yeah, Kauken just said remembering about his brother. I'm so confused. Katana said it takes 1 month to give birth to foxes. Kyokin and Kaukin were the results of the first month. The second batch looked completely different from each other, and so does the shadow foxes. So why are they twins? Naruto thought as she wondered why only those two are so alike and acts like punks. Forget it. During the mission, this is Prodigy in position Bravo and in sight of the target. Over. Sasuke said over the radio. This is Fangirl in position Charlie and in sight of the target. Over. Sakura said. This is Fox Tamer in position Delta and target is in sight. Over. Naruto said. This is Fire Fox Bravo, Omega 21, Charlie 15, Delta 33. Over. Kyokin said. Quote. Sasuke. Quote. Sakura. Quote. Kakashi. What? Naruto said, ending the silence. I thought we were supposed to make up names and such. Kyokin said over the radio. Forget it, Fire Fox. Do you see the target? Naruto said through the radio. Target is in sight. Over. Kyokin said. What about you, Wind Fox? Target is in sight and ready to move. Over. Kaukin said as he got himself ready. Okay. On the count of 3 move in. In 1, 2, 3. Kakashi called down. 3 people and 2 foxes moved in to capture the target. The so-called target was actually the lost cat Tora. The damn thing was immediately cornered and Kaukin jumped the poor cat, pinning it down and avoiding its claws as much as possible from pastime experience. You have the right to remain silent. Which I highly doubt, Kaukin said as the damn thing began forcing itself out of its hold. This brought in Kyokin as he too has to restrain the damn thing. Anything you do and say will be held against you in the court of law. Kyokin said as he pinned down the damn thing. This is Fox Tamer. We have captured the target and will return with the damn thing. Naruto said as she grabbed the back of the damn thing's neck fur to hold the damn creature. We had to chase that damn thing for 4 hours. Sakura complained. It would have been 2.5 hours if you didn't let the damn thing go in the first time we cornered it. Kaukin said. Hey. You would have let go to if that damn thing wasn't scratching your face out. Sakura said as she showed her scratched face. But I would have kept a hold of the damn thing. Kaukin countered. Let's just get this over with to end the mission. Sasuke said as everyone. At the Hokage Tower. The damn thing has been returned its owner. The said owner is now smothering the life out of the damn thing as it began trying to escape. I would run away to if my master is smothering the life out of me. Kaukin said out loud. But what if your master was a beautiful woman? Kyokin asked. Then I would die happy. Kaukin replied as Kyokin agreed as well. So did Kakashi, Iruka, and the Hokage. Let's move on. The Hokage said. Let's see here. We have a grocery shopping mission. Pick some weeds out of the backyard, waking the Inuzuka dogs. The Hokage said as he was interrupted by Sakura. No, Sakura shouted. I want to do some real missions that are not chores. Sakura said as Sasuke inwardly agree. I was expecting Naruto to do something like this. Kakashi thought as Naruto was listening to the foxes talk and ignoring the Hokage's speech of ninja rank and missions. There is no way that chicken ramen tastes better than miso ramen. Kaukin said. Chicken ramen has these amazing chunks of meat that taste great with ramen, and miso is. What goes with miso ramen? Kyokin countered and replied. Are you listening to me? The Hokage said as the group returned their attention to the Hokage. Sorry, you were saying. Kakashi said, saving the group from some lecture about paying attention. As I was saying, the missions you have been doing are for your skills as a genin, and D-ranked missions are what you're being assigned to. The Hokage said. But we would like to do something more challenging, not a mission that the villagers are too lazy to do it themselves or too fat to do it. Naruto said, speaking the truth. The Hokage groaned. He knew that these kinds of missions are a waste of time for Naruto. The Hokage began setting paperwork and scrolls aside, looking for a mission for the group. I had it somewhere. Where is it? Ah, the old man pulled out a scroll that is labeled C. How about a mission for you to guard a bridge builder back to his home country from Bandit Sound? It's better than errands. Naruto said, happy that she isn't wasting her time with the villagers. Alright, Tazuna-san, you can come in now. The Hokage said as an old man came through a door with normal civilian clothes with a straw hat, glasses, packed back and a sake bottle hanging from the backpack. You're assigning me punks to guard me. Even the one with the foxes, she looks like she can't do anything at all. Tazuna said as the Hokage, Iruka and Kakashi knew that this man is screwed. Just like Iruka and Kakashi has seen before. Naruto have disappeared from view and is now in front of the old man with her bladed tonfas crisscrossed at the man's neck. It would be so much better if we just kill you now if you are going to insult someone with my abilities. Naruto said coldly and put the blades at his neck a bit closer but was stopped by Kakashi. It wouldn't be good for business if you killed a client now, would it? Kakashi said as he gripped her shoulder to tell her to put her tonfas away. She didn't. Everyone thought that this is going to start a fight that is until now Naruto. Tazuna didn't know who he was talking to and shouldn't die for making a simple mistake now, would it? The Hokage said, hoping that this will make her stop. She smirked at the old man and removed her blades. I guess I can let this slide just this once. Naruto said and putted away her tonfas. Now that is out of the way. Team 7 will guard Tazuna the bridge builder back to Wave Country in 1 hour. The Hokage said as he gave a scroll to Kakashi that hold the details of the mission. Kakashi read it over. Alright team, meet me at the main gate in 1 hour and bring enough supplies to last for a week. Kakashi said, dismissing the group. Naruto and her foxes have begun walking towards her home to get supplies. I say you should have killed him. Kouken just said out of the blue. No, killing him will be just too easy. Kyoken replied. No conversations have started as they have entered Naruto's home and came to a site with a 7-tailed fox with dark golden-orange fur with black tips sitting in the middle of the room. Who the hell are you? The twins said at the same time. I am Vataro. I have come to see if this human is worth me and my sister's time. Vataro said with a deep voice with no sign of emotion. Sister? Naruto asked. Vatara. She is now watching the kids. Vataro said as he was eyeing Naruto. You are strong and I can't sense your chakra. You also have a strong smell of foxes that didn't come from the two brats. Vataro finished his analysis. So am I worth your time or are you just wasting my time? Naruto said coldly with no other emotion. Two can play that game. No, you're worth out time. If you need any of our strength then you have our strength. Me and my sister have the strength to fight a boss summon if you wish it. Vataro said as he poofed out of existence. That was a waste of time. Naruto said as she went to grab some scrolls. Make sure you get some miso ramen too. Kouken shouted. Chicken. Naruto heard from the other room. At the main gate, Naruto and her crew have arrived in 1 hour on the dot as they see the bridge builder that took a few steps away. Sasuke is denying Sakura a date. She has been asking Sasuke out for a date and have been asking that question every 10 minutes. She still don't want to accept it. Maybe if I kill him she will stop following him around and move on with her life. Naruto thought. It's true that Naruto have been having thoughts about killing the last Uchiha and consequences be damned. I could cut out his eyes and sterilize the guy. Then let the guy live knowing that the Uchiha is no more. Naruto inwardly smiled at thought of that idea. Most of her ideas come down the line of cutting off the man's manhood. But now is not the time to kill him, yet. Yo! Kakashi arrived 15 minutes late. You're late, Sakura yelled. Seriously, does the word mean quiet mean anything to this girl? Sorry, I had to get a cat off a tree and return it to its owner. Kakashi said, but Sakura was still fuming. That's a new one, Naruto thought. Well, now that everyone is here. Shall we start the mission? Kakashi said and received nods. Everyone went through Konoha's main gates and went down the road that went towards the Wave Country. Naruto and her team have been walking down the road for a while now and Naruto can't help but think things through. Living outside of Konoha is something that I always wanted. Now wouldn't be the best time. I have to bide my time and think things through as to how to escape Konoha without being put in a bingo book. Naruto thought as she began thinking up a plan. Maybe if I ask Katana if she can make me a clone or something that can fool people. Naruto's thoughts have been cut off as she sees two puddles in the middle of the road. Naruto smirked. It's been a while since I killed someone. Naruto thought of a way to kill them. The way she have figured out to kill them is an open right palm with pointed out tips. Once she did that, Kyoken and Kouken got off of her shoulders and walked when they felt her bloodlust. Once the group had passed the puddles, two cloaked figures came out and attacked with a spike chain connected to each other. They wrapped the chain around Kakashi and pulled it. Kakashi instantly turned to mush. One down. One of the men said. 4 to go. The other finished and both attacked the rest of the group. Naruto instantly attacked the closest one and plunged her hand into one of them. The area she has her hand in now wasn't covered in armor, which was the neck. She intently destroyed the man's voice box, air tunnel, and pushed back the spine bone, thus killing him quickly. The man fell down to ground dead. The other guy turned to see that his brother had been killed and went to kill his brother's killed. Naruto waited for the man to get close enough. Once he got close enough, she slowed down time to make him move like a slug. She pulled out her bladed tonfa with her left and cut the man's arm off. She didn't stop there. She did a Z-figure attack on the guy and resumed normal time. Sasuke came out of his frozen state and went to attack one of these cloaked men, but didn't get a chance. He saw that the last man's arm came off. Soon his head fell off his shoulders. After his shoulders and right side of his body fell off, showing a diagonal cut. Then his legs gave in and the rest of his upper body fell off the lower part. Sasuke was shocked that Naruto just killed two people with no problem, with no sign of emotion, or no sign of hesitation. How did she kill them, and where is she getting this kind of power? Sasuke thought as he balled up his fist in anger of being showed up by a girl. That was excellent work there, Naruto. Although you could have at least kept one of them alive. Kakashi came into view. Sensei, I thought you were dead. Sakura said as she looked back where his corpse used to be and found broken pieces of logs. She really needs to be sent back to the academy. Naruto thought as the foxes returned to her shoulders. That was amazing, mistress. Kauken said. Yeah, they were like, whoa. Kyoken said, pointing at Sakura, Tazuna and Sasuke. They were like, whoa. He is now pointing at the now corpses. We were like, whoa, and you were like, whoa. Kyoken said while sitting on Naruto's shoulders. Now that the demon brothers have been taken care of. Tazuna, would you mind if we have a talk? Kakashi said as he sees Tazuna sweating bullets, and the old man began his tale about his country being controlled by a man named Gato. Gato have bought all of our boats. If you control the boats, you control the country. So now Gato is bleeding our country dry and is killing our people that he thinks that are going to stand up against him. Tazuna said. So Gato have hired missing nin to kill you, thinking that you are standing up against him. Kakashi stated. Yes, I am building a bridge to the mainland. Once the bridge is finished, the people of Wave will be able to bring business to Wave without using Gato's boats. Tazuna said. This mission has been upgraded from a C rank mission to a B rank, possibly A rank. We were only assigned to bring you back to your country. I will have to cancel this mission. Kakashi said as he turned to the direction of Konoha. So you are just going to cancel a mission? The ninja back in Konoha will look at it as a failed mission. Naruto stated as she sees that Kakashi stopped in his tracks. What's your point? He asked as he eyed Naruto with his right eye. My point is that a Jonin have failed a C rank mission. Isn't a C rank mission no problem for a Jonin? People back home will know that the Jonin that failed a C rank mission can't possibly do a higher rank mission. I'm saying is that if you cancel this mission right now, are you prepared to be looked down as to be seen as a ninja that abandons his missions? Naruto said, playing with the man's pride. She does have a point. People back home are simple-minded people. Kakashi thought. Alright then, we will continue on with the mission. Kakashi said as Sakura paled at doing a harder mission and was inwardly screaming at Naruto. Tazuna, I expect you to pay the rightful amount for an A- rank mission once Wave is back up and running. Tazuna nodded and looked at Naruto, thanking her for convincing her sensei to go on with the mission. The group have arrived at a river and met with a guy that Tazuna said that will get them to Wave quietly. The group came across the bridge and were amazed at the size. They soon came to land and continued on to Tazuna's house, and Kakashi was wondering why the mist has been getting thicker. Naruto and the group went down the road and Naruto pulled out a kunai and threw it into a bush. She went to go retrieve the kunai and came back with a white rabbit. Naruto, why did you attack a helpless rabbit? Sakura screamed. Helpless? This is food, right her? Right guys. Naruto said cheerily and darkly as the said foxes were on the ground when she showed that smile she gets when she fights. Someone that I can finally go all out. Kakashi noticed the white-haired rabbit and Naruto's smile. Not once he has ever seen her smile. She knows that someone is out there. Get down, Kakashi said as he pushed Tazuna and Sakura down and went down himself. Sasuke went down without a second thought. Naruto just bended down to her knees as a makeshift boomerang went by where their heads used to be. The blade went up and stuck itself into a tree. A man has stepped onto the huge blade. No wonder the demon brothers have failed. They were up against Kakashi Hatake. The man said, "Zabuza Momochi, demon of the mist." Kakashi replied, "So you have heard of me, Kakashi?" Zabuza said, "To fight you I will need to use this." Kakashi pulled up his forehead protector, revealing his Sharingan eye. "You are bringing out the Sharingan out so early. I am honored," Zabuza said as he pulled out his sword and appeared on top of the lake. Soon the mist began to thicken. There are 8 places to kill someone in assassination. The lung is nice, but the spine sounds good. The sound of Zabuza's voice was heard from all directions. Kakashi began releasing his chakra to dissipate it, and along with his killing intent. Sasuke began caving in as he grabbed a kunai and about to end his life. "Sasuke," Kakashi said as he got Sasuke's attention. "Don't worry, I will protect my team," he said, calming him down. Damn, he had to stop him from killing himself. Naruto thought as she wanted him dead. "I should let Kakashi fight him first. I want to see if he is strong enough for my likings." Zabuza appeared between the genin and the client. He was about to lop off their heads, but Kakashi moved fast enough and stabbed Zabuza in the stomach. "It's over," Kakashi said, but Zabuza turned into water. "Water clone, now it's over," Zabuza said as he slashed diagonally at Kakashi as he too turned into water. Then he felt the cold steel of a kunai against his neck. "I don't want to repeat myself," Kakashi said. Zabuza began laughing. He continued to laugh as Kakashi pressed the kunai into the man's throat. Water spew out instead of blood. Zabuza came behind him to finish Kakashi off. Kakashi avoided being cut in half as he jumped into the lake. That was a mistake as Kakashi felt the water was heavy and Zabuza appeared before him with right hand out as water had engulfed him. "Water prison, Kakashi. This water is as hard as steel. So don't bother trying to escape," Zabuza said as he started doing one-handed seals for a water clone. "Now you will watch your team get killed before your eyes. Run, get as far away as possible. The water clone can't go far." Kakashi yelled out and sees Naruto walking towards the water clone. "You really think of me so low, Kakashi," Naruto said as she pulled out her pair of bladed tonfas. "After all, you were having problems with me when we fought. Even when you were using the Sharingan and I wasn't going all out," Naruto said as her tattoo on her right arm appeared. "So the little girl wants to die. So be it," the water clone said as he brought down his blade horizontally and Naruto bended underneath the attack. Once the blade passes her, she spinned herself around the clone and appeared back to back with the water clone with her right tonfa in its back. "Sorry, but I have plans to accomplish before I die," she said as the water clone dispersed. Naruto started walking towards Zabuza and the said man made more water clones to kill the girl. Naruto just sidestepped or ducked under the attacks and countered them, dispersing them. She made it to the lake and Zabuza thought that she couldn't walk on water, but she continued on. "I advise you to release Kakashi and concentrate on me or I will kill you where you stand." Zabuza instantly released the imprisoned man. "Kakashi, since you tried and failed to kill him, I will be taking over and I don't care if he is a Jonin." She never left her eyes of Zabuza. Kakashi left her to her own fight. "Little punk, you think you can defeat me?" Naruto took her tonfas in front of her and extended both blades by 1 foot. "Tell me, why are you called the Demon of the Mist?" Naruto asked. "Since you asked, our genin exams are a little different from yours. The only way for us to pass is to kill our teammate, but I didn't just kill my teammate. I killed everyone in the academy. The feel of killing people and the rush it gives. I craved it. What about you? What did you do for your graduation just to give you your last conversation?" Zabuza said as he is now interested with this girl. "What about me? My graduation exam is the same useless crap. A written test, throw some kunai at stationary targets and do 3 basic techniques. But my exam, I did something that none of the students know about. This got everyone's attention. I killed one of my instructors." Sakura and Sasuke were shocked that Naruto killed one of the instructors and is not punished for her crimes. Of course Kakashi heard the rumors of a student killing an instructor and he assumed it was Sasuke. "That's not all. Every once in a while a villager will try to beat me up or kill me. Let's just say they never will see the sun again," Naruto said as she attacked Zabuza as the man brought down his blade and Naruto just parried it. She didn't bother with blocking the huge blade. Zabuza kept swinging his blade but the girl kept avoiding getting hit. Her counter-attacks were aimed to kill and he had trouble just avoiding them. She's skilled in using her blades and is too fast for me. I will have to use my techniques. Zabuza put his blade away behind his back and started doing some hand seals. Naruto seals him doing hand seals and knew what technique he was doing. She slowed time down and did the seals to catch up to him. Water release, water dragon missile. Both shouted as the water dragons battle each other out and cancelled. Naruto started her own set of hand seals and Zabuza started doing another. Fire release, fire dragon missile. Naruto shouted and blew flames at Zabuza. Water release, water encampment wall. Zabuza shouted as water surrounded him and protected him from the flames. Now's my chance, Naruto thought as she began doing another set of hand seals. Zabuza was cut off from view as the water wall protected him and blinded him. He was unprepared for the attack from Naruto as the water dissipates. Water release, giant vortex. Zabuza heard as a vortex of water hit him hard and slammed him into a tree. Naruto was about to finish him off but her instinct slowed down time and she halted her moves and jumped back. In the position where she was going to be as 6 senbons went by aimed at her. A hunter nin came down and grabbed Zabuza. Naruto didn't like this as she went for the kill and aimed her tonfa at the said hunter's face. The hunter avoided it but clipped up a piece of the hunter's mask. Naruto saw the hunter's eye that showed where she clipped the hunter. As she gazed at the hunter's eye she can see herself. The pain she has endured. The loneliness. The sorrow. Everything. This hunter had suffered what she has suffered. She was so intrigued by those eyes that the hunter shunshin away saving Zabuza in the process. Naruto didn't move for a while as the group came to check up on her. What happened? Kakashi asked. Zabuza escaped. She replied, I know that, but how? His companion saved him of course. Naruto said as she put her tonfas away. Give me a complete detained report after we get to safety. Kakashi said as the group went towards Tazuna's house and Naruto began thinking things. Those thoughts of course were about the hunter nin and who that person is. Day 1 you're here why? Naruto just finished her report about her fight with Zabuza. From killing the clones, blade skills then a ninjutsu fight. She didn't tell them that she deliberately let them go. Why? Let's just say it is hard to kill someone that lived the way you have lived. She still remembers the hunter nin's eyes. Naruto couldn't get those eyes out of her mind. She wants to meet this hunter nin. Naruto. Kakashi pulled her out of her thoughts. Is there anything else you would like to add? No, nothing at all. She couldn't tell them what she saw. So Zabuza is alive and will return to finish the job once he recovers from his injuries. I say we have 4 days. Kakashi figured. 7 days to be precise. Naruto said as Kakashi eyed her. Explain. Kakashi asked. Those injuries I inflicted were partially not severe. The cuts and bruises can be healed in a few days with herbs but that will have to wait to attend. Zabuza's companion has to deal with the internal injuries first. Getting hit by a giant vortex will cause serious injuries like broken ribs, a bruised organs or if possible a concussion. Naruto summarized. So Zabuza will come back in a week's time. Kakashi said as Naruto nodded. I got another question for you. Where did you learn those techniques? Kakashi said and this got Sasuke's attention hoping he can obtain how Naruto got strength he needs. Isn't a ninja supposed to keep their abilities hidden Kakashi? Naruto asked. Yes, but those abilities will make your enemies fear you. Like me with the copy ninja Kakashi title I have made of myself. Kakashi said a bit proud of his title. True, but I am a ninja that is not looking for fame. Naruto said as Kakashi was about to ask but was cut off. If the element countries have heard of what I am capable of, they will develop some way to kill you and will continue to try until you are dead. Why do you think I preferred the title of dead last? Naruto asked. So people will underestimate you. Naruto nodded. But, if you make a name of yourself, the other village ninjas will fear you. Kakashi was still trying to get her to talk. People will fear me. So will the people of the village I live in. You and I both know that Konoha will never praise me, but fear me of who I am. Naruto said in her cold voice. Fear will bring hatred and hatred will bring me enemies. I already made a few enemies in Konoha and one of them is in this very room. Naruto said as she looked at Sasuke. So you will not help benefit Konoha. Kakashi said. Why would I help a village that scorned me the moment I was born? I rather let the village burn to the ground. Naruto said that last part low enough that no one heard her. Well anyways, I have to go start training these two. Naruto said. You're willing to train Sasuke and Sakura? Kakashi asked while Sasuke smirked. Why in the 9 layers of hell I would want to train those two? Naruto said as the said two narrowed their eyes at Naruto, but Sasuke was seething inside. I meant Kyoken and Kauken. Naruto pointed at the foxes as they looked like a deer in the headlights. Why would we need training? Both said in unison. Not once I have seen both of you fight. Naruto said. What about the emo? Kyoken said as he pointed one of his tails at Sasuke. I wouldn't call that fighting. It's more like messing with him. Naruto said as Sasuke has balled his fist. But you were the one who fought the real fights. Kauken said. So you guys are not willing to train. Naruto said as both nodded and Naruto just looked at the foxes. Then she said something that will make them train. You guys both realize I'm the one who is holding the ramen, right? Naruto said as both have cave in. So are you guys going to train? Naruto asked as both nodded. Naruto and the foxes were about to read when someone stopped them. Is there a way if you add Sakura and Sasuke in your training? Kakashi asked and bringing some hope up for the said two. Train them yourself you lazy bastard. Naruto said as she left the rest of her team and was about to leave Tazuna's house. Going out so soon? A woman said as Naruto was about to leave the house. Yes Tsunami. I have some training to do. Naruto said to the woman named Tsunami. Well, be back when supper is ready Naruto-san. Tsunami said as she went to the kitchen. Naruto walked into the forest with the foxes in tow to find a place to train. 20 minutes later. Are we there yet? Kauken said getting bored of walking. No. Naruto said for the 23rd time. Are we there yet? Kyoken said this time. No. Naruto said the 24th time. 5 minutes later. Are we there yet? Kyoken and Kauken said at the same time. Yes, we're here. Naruto shouted. Liar. Both shouted while Naruto grumbled damn foxes. Naruto walked towards an area that had enough trees to hide what they are doing and to train. Naruto stopped and looked around the place. This area looks suitable. Naruto said as she bit her thumb and did some hand signs. Kachiyose no jutsu. Naruto slammed her palm to the ground to summon Katana. But Katana didn't come alone. She came along with the other 8 foxes. Oh great, you're just the person I was looking for. Katana said with a smile that she gave Naruto when she first met the punks. I need a huge favor to ask you. Oh crap, Naruto thought as she was about to refuse but was cut off. I need to borrow 2 taels worth of chakra. Katana said while Naruto looked confused by this. She was expecting Katana to dump the other foxes on her. Why would you need 2 taels worth of chakra? Naruto asked as she activated her right arm tattoo to give her the chakra. I'm trying out something. As you can see I got the Hyuga fox in the oven and adding a tail worth to see what happens. The other tail will be going to a seal I am trying out. Katana said as she absorbed 2 taels of chakra. What kind of seal you're testing out? It better not be the one I have, right? Naruto said as she can see Katana sheepishly laugh. That was a sure giveaway. My, you can read me like a book. Katana smiled as she ruffled Naruto's hair and Naruto swatted the hand away. Yes, it is the same kind of seal on your back arm. It's not as strong as yours. But in time it will grow to be like yours, but I estimate it will be 3 to 4 taels worth of chakra. Katana said as she smiled at her accomplishment. So you're saying is that anyone can get the tattoo-looking seal on my back? Naruto said as Katana shaking her head left to right. No, only someone that I and you approve of. Katana said. Who are you giving this to? Naruto asked hoping that it's someone that she can tolerate. Hinata Hyuga, a nice girl and shy a bit. I have been talking to her for a few weeks now and I am going to accept her into the Kitsune clan. Katana said hoping that Naruto will accept her into the Kitsune clan. I guess I can let her join. Naruto said as Katana smiled as she turned to leave but stopped. Oh, did you give a name for your bloodline yet? Katana asked as Naruto just looked at her with a raised her eyebrow at her. Why would I name my bloodline? The scroll said I shouldn't bother naming it. Naruto said as Katana wasn't convinced. You said you shouldn't bother naming it and it didn't force you not to name it, right? Katana said as Naruto shook her head no. Beside it was the Namikaze bloodline and the last Namikaze died the day you were born, right? Naruto nodded. So you should write a scroll about the Uzumaki bloodline. Katana said as she pulled out a scroll and some ink as she sat down on the ground as the kids surrounded her, while Naruto just groaned and joined them. So what are you calling your bloodline? Katana said as she is going to document this. Naruto sat there thinking of a name. How about Akasazutem? Naruto suggested. Access time. I like it. Katana began writing down the info as Naruto explained how to use it. Now what are you going to call these abilities? Just call them Teishijikan, Naruto said. Stop time, and what are the stop time abilities? Katana asked as Naruto just groaned. She began thinking about her abilities. Don't forget a complete detail of the abilities. Naruto just groaned louder. Well, there is that brief time I stop time for 2 seconds. Even stopping time for a brief second takes a lot of chakra when fighting. Sure, I can stop time for 5 hours, but that is just standing still concentrating. Halting time and fighting takes too much chakra and concentration, so I created a technique using time with instinct. I think I will name it Tsukunoma. It will stop time for 2 seconds or when my instincts go haywire. Even if it is for a brief time, it is long enough time to jump away or avoid getting killed. Naruto said as Katana was writing it all down. What else do you got? Katana looked excited. There is the Hisashibori. It's a variation of Tsukunoma. It will let me move around the area for a few seconds depending how much chakra I use. I am experimenting with my bloodline right now, but I am working the kinks on it first. Until then I will tell you what they are and what they do. Naruto said as she was going to leave but was stopped. What about your hidden chakra bloodline? Katana remembered about not sensing Naruto. Hitoshirazu chakra is good enough for me. Naruto didn't care the name for her bloodlines. What about the now tattoos on your back? Katana is really interested with the fox tamer's abilities. Why would I name the seals? Naruto asked. From what I have gathered about that seal is that it is now genetic. You have the smell of foxes and a huge reservoir of chakra from it. Katana pointed out. And you better give it a cool name. Katana warned Naruto. Naruto is now thinking of a name that Katana will like, and not wanting to face the forest shadow's wrath she gave it more thought. Who about the Kitsune Chikao? Naruto said, appeasing the fox spirit. The fox's oath. I like it. Katana said, smiling at the name, and Naruto stood up and was about to leave. Now to name your taijutsu. Katana said, crushing the hope of leaving. They're my father's taijutsu. Naruto pointed out. Did he use it or name it? Katana said as Naruto fell back to ground lying down. There are 2 different kinds of stances. The closed fist and the open palm. Katana wasn't documenting this. You don't like the names? She nodded. Okay, let me think. After a few minutes of thinking she made her decision. Bakuretsu Kobushi will be the closed fist and Inkaten Hira will be the open palm. Naruto named her taijutsu stances and showed the katas and the how to use them. Alright, that's about everything. Katana said as she rolled up the scroll and put the scroll and ink away. So have you named your tonfas yet? Katana asked as she remembered the black-looking sheaths and blades. Naruto was thinking up a name. I'll go with Kurabuchi. Naruto just said. Black Edge. That sounds cool. Alright. Katana turned away showing she was going to leave. Oh here. Katana tossed a scroll to Naruto. That is instructions on how to train foxes with training supplies, and there is enough food in there to feed the kids for a month and some camping supplies. And good luck. Katana said as she poofed away leaving the 8 foxes with her. Naruto was speechless. She didn't move a single muscle. 10 minutes later. WWWHHAAATTTT. Naruto shouted. Kyoken and Kauken had it easy as they were talking to their brother and sisters while Naruto was destroying a tree that was close by. So you guys never tried ramen before? Kauken said to the others as they shook their heads no. You guys don't know what you're missing. Kyoken said as he remembered the awesome broth. Why me? Naruto said as she went towards to the herd of foxes with 2 tails each. Alright, Naruto said as she straightened herself up. Line up and give me your names and gender so I won't get confused with you. The foxes lined themselves up from fire foxes on the left, wind foxes in the middle and the shadow foxes were on the right. She pointed the first one on the left. I'm Okibi and I am a male so you better remember it. Said the hot-headed fox. The fox had dark orange fur with a fire mark on his fur that is inked red and black tips. Naruto pointed to the next fox. The name's Takibi and male. The fox just said not caring. He was just like Okibi but with light brown fur. She moved on. Kaki and female. "It's nice to meet you," said the fox as she bowed. The young kid had light orange fur and her firemark looked more exotic as its ink is dark red. Her tips were gray with a hint of red. Naruto moved on to the wind foxes. The name is Ofu and male. This time the fox was gray as his wind mark was inked black. His tips were white. "And I am Gyakufu and I am a female," the fox said a bit too fast. She was like Ofu but a more exotic wind mark. "I'm guessing the females get an exotic element mark, and why is Kauken so different from these wind foxes?" Naruto thought as she eyed Kauken. "His fur is just like the fire foxes. Is it because they are both alike?" Naruto thought as she remembered how the foxes introduce themselves differently. She decided to put that aside for now. Naruto pointed to the now sleeping shadow fox. His sister notices this as she whacked the fox awake. The fox just raised its head and looked around and noticed he was the center of attention. "How troublesome. Kumori, male," the fox said as he went back to sleep. "His fur is just like the rest of the shadow foxes. Complete black. The only way to tell each other apart is their attitude." Naruto pointed to the next fox. "It's a Nae and I'm a female," the fox said in a strong demanding voice. She nudges her brother to give his name. "My name is Biku and a male." Anae got this fox totally whipped. I guess the male Naris are lazy bastards and is totally whipped by the female Naris. Naruto thought as she memorized the foxes' names. Naruto opened the scroll that shows how to train foxes. She read the only line that is written on the scroll. "Train them well." Naruto's eyes were twitching a bit dangerously. She looked forward down the scroll to find a kanji for training supplies. She opened it and out came many chakra weight bands and another scroll. She took the scroll and opened it to see that it is a message, so she started reading it. "Naruto, if you are reading this, then that means you are training my kids for a while. I got some pressing matters to look into. For instance, Konoha is no longer a place to keep my kits. Some band of ninja has been scouting the area where I have been keeping my kits at the Forest of Death. I sent both Vitaro and Vitara to find out who is sending these ninja, and they don't have the regular scent of Konoha ninja. They have this dark smell that smells like they were living underground there. Who lives? They have pale skin to prove it. From the way their chakra network I sense is that they can become stronger but is being held back, which we will take advantage of. For the kits training, there are some weight bands in the scroll. Put them on the kits and make them get used to it. They are not normal bands. I made them so Kumori wouldn't remove them. That lazy-ass bastard figured out a way to remove the chakra from the bands and made it seem like he is used to the weights. Make sure you put them on their tails as well. Don't ask why, just do it. Oh, make sure you put extra chakra for Gyakufu and Ofu. If you're wondering why Kauken is different from these two, it is because they are not combat foxes. They are more like messengers. They use wind chakra to move fast, while Kauken uses his wind chakra for combat. Once that is done, make them climb trees. You know the chakra exercise. If they're done that, move them onto water walking. If they finish that, make them balance a rock on their tails, one on each tail. Not a boulder size but more of a fist size. If you're wondering why I didn't write this down on the first scroll, then I wouldn't be messing with you now, would I? Well, like the first scroll says, train them well. P.S. I took the ramen scroll. Naruto immediately checked her pouch to see that she indeed took the ramen scroll. Kyoken and Kauken are not going to like this. She opened up the scroll and found many chakra weight bands for foxes. "Alright, everyone line up, including you, Kumori." The said fox just laid there ignoring her. "Anae, would you mind?" The young kid went up to her brother and yelled at the fox to make him move. Katana was right about her. She is scary. Naruto strapped the bands on the foxes and put some chakra that seems right for all of them. "Alright, is everyone set?" Naruto sees them struggling to get used to the weights and sees Kumori sleeping. "Damn it, Kumori, move your furry ass right now." The said fox just stood up and walked away, already used to the weights. "These foxes are just messing with me. Day 2, none of your business." The first day was a disaster. Once Naruto told Kyoken and Kauken what Katana did, they begged to Naruto for going back to Konoha to get some ramen. Naruto just told them they have to settle for what they have and they can binge on ramen once they return. She also found out that Kumori kept getting used to the weights Naruto supplied him. She just removed them once the weights were 200 pounds on each paw and tail. Of course she didn't tell her team about this. Kakashi is getting a bit demanding and threatened her to train Sasuke and Sakura. This time she told him to fuck off. That brought a confused look from Kakashi. Naruto left Tazuna's house after she ate her breakfast and is now going to the training area but is stopped by Sasuke. "Fight me," he demanded and attacked Naruto without a reply. He figured that without her foxes she is weak. What poor judgment. Seriously, why are people stopping me from going somewhere? Naruto thought as she sidestepped a left punch and a follow-up right hook. She just took a step back from Sasuke's attacks. She didn't even fight back. Not once she used her hands. She kept sidestepping a punch, a step back from an upward kick or uppercut or backhand and duck once he does a sweep kick at her head. I've had enough. Naruto though as she was standing at the edge of the galley. She timed this right as Sasuke was about to punch her into the water. Naruto jumped over Sasuke and pushed him into the water. Too bad he doesn't know how to water walk. Like I said before, Sasuke. If you can't defeat Kouken and Kyoken, how do you expect to defeat me? Even Kouken is able to hit me, Naruto said as she went to go train some foxes. Sasuke was seething inside about being compared to animals. Naruto went down the path that didn't go to the training area as she was being followed by Kakashi. I can't seem to get this guy off my back, Naruto thought as she used Hisashibori and made a shadow clone in her place. She then went to the training ground until her technique ended. I hope she will keep you occupied for a while, Kakashi, Naruto thought as she went to the foxes' training ground. Naruto arrived at the training ground to see the foxes were ready minus one who was sleeping. Someone wake Kumori up, Naruto said as Kouken and Kyoken dragged the shadow fox towards the group. Now that Kumori is awake, we will now begin your training, Naruto said as she heard the magic word troublesome. You guys will be climbing trees with your chakra. Why are we training anyways? Okibi asked as the rest nodded and one yawned. Because we are training to help fight with our mistress and protect her, you idiot. Ine shouted that shut up the other foxes. To do this exercise, you concentrate your chakra at your feet or paws and climb the tree, Naruto said as she walked up the tree to show them how. This will help you guys control your chakra a bit easier. Naruto is now upside down on a branch. Do you understand this? She received nods from the kids. She jumped down. Then get to it. I have to do some of my own training to do, Naruto said as she was going to leave. Oh, Ine. The shadow fox looked at her mistress. You're free to do what bodily harm you can cause to Kumori if he is not training. Naruto left and didn't see the wicked smile Ine was giving Kumori. The said fox got this sudden urge of motivation to train with Kakashi. He has been following Naruto for a while to see what she is training her foxes, and she has been leading him in circles. Kakashi had enough and was about to leave, getting tired of following Kakashi. Naruto said, bringing Kakashi to a halt. I was making sure you were safe. Kakashi lied. Oh come on Kakashi. Your lousy excuse for being late is more believable than that, Naruto said as she looked up at the tree Kakashi was hidden in. If you want to hide yourself, make sure that the person you're tailing doesn't know your chakra signature, Naruto said as she poofed away, showing that she was a shadow clone. Kakashi didn't know what to do. Naruto is able to sense Kakashi no problem, and Kakashi can't sense Naruto, who doesn't have a chakra signature. So Kakashi decided to give Sasuke extra training to beat Naruto. With Naruto, she was a few minutes away from the foxes to train. Right now she was experimenting with her bloodline. She had created 2 variations and is now figuring out how to do them more easily. She named one Taisoku, which she throws a shuriken and put some of her chakra in it to see it slowing down as it hit its target. The second one is more complicated. She named it Tsunagu. It's a follow-up of the Hisashibori. When that is activated, she throws a shuriken and moves normally till it hits a target. Quite effective if the concentration is a bit too much. She continued this until she ran out of chakra, which she thought was impossible considering she has 5 tails worth, and this proves that using this bloodline is indeed impossible for other shinobi. She continued until she passed out. Day 3. Nice to meet you. Haku is currently in the Forest of Wave collecting herbs for Zabuza's cuts. The beating Zabuza endured from that red-headed ninja was embarrassing if the other 7 swordsmen find out about this. That girl moved fast and precise. Not one of her attacks was wasted. What Zabuza avoided could have killed him. The most noticeable thing that she noticed about this girl is that she has the same eyes she has. She's seen the pain, sadness, and the loneliness she has suffered. Haku hoped that she won't fight against her in the future. She couldn't get rid of the sight of those girls' eyes. Right now she is picking herbs to get her out of her mind. She couldn't help but let the birds land on her shoulders and watch them fly away towards someone lying down in the grass sleeping. Haku went up to look at the sleeping figure and sees the very person that she came to this forest to forget. She didn't know what to do. She could kill her, to keep Zabuza alive from her. But that option is starting to lose its purpose. Haku did the only thing that she was trained to do. She raised her right hand and brought it over the girl's neck and moved it closer.
That's all for now. If you want to see next part, then please like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.